does win. So let's just keep that in mind. I think there's going to be some really clear moves tomorrow. So I hope everyone was smart today. PLTR was a great trade with during my live trading. That may continue. I think, if Trump does win, I do think we're going to see some bullishness in the market, at least in specific sectors. If Kamala wins, or Kamala, however you guys want to say it. I do think that it'll probably sell off. I'm not supposed to get political, but I'm always willing to talk about it. I think it's important. I don't want anyone going after each other, but I would love to hear opinions on things. But yeah, so tomorrow's going to be definitely pretty interesting for sure. DJT, I don't know if you guys saw it. A pretty wild move here. We saw that kind of that flash crash today. And I ended up buying some 50 calls right on this last halt when it opened up, this candle right here. So that was beautiful. Closed in the green. I love to see this rip here in after hours. I think that this happened when I think Trump flipped. Well, I don't want to say Trump, but there was a senator in oh wow, hang on. 120 to 99 is what I hear. Let me do this 1 second. Let me flip this and go to my screen here, so you guys should be able to see this now. Let me see if I can switch that for the stream. Let's do this entire screen. Boom. So this just updated Trump 120 to 99 now. Still up only about. He was up 30. Now he's up 21. It looks like Pennsylvania, they're only 16% in, and Kamala's up pretty heavy here, about 27-ish percent on the vote there. 300,000 votes over, but again, they're only 16% done. I'm sure Texas goes red, but anyways, I'm going to be watching this on the side. It was 67. Okay, good. Well, it looks like things are different then. What side are you using, Crypto Joe? Yeah, I mean, politics is part of the markets, guys. I mean, obviously, like I said, I'm kind of told to stay away from getting too involved in it with the chat, but I do think that it's worthwhile to talk about. It's real. It's happening right now. 27,154. Right. We want to hear it. Exactly. This is important stuff. And this is kind of my first real election. Obviously, I've been alive for other ones. It's my first time I ever voted. So I want to hear others' opinions as well for my sake. So I'll keep this in mind on the side. You guys keep me updated as well. Yeah. Go figure, right, Crypto Joe? But yeah, so I did see that I think West Virginia had maybe like a certain Democratic senator, and they flipped to a Republican senator or something like that. That spiked DJT. Yeah, well, not my first, not by choice. This is my first time I was ever allowed to. I was 4 months too young with the last one, so here I am now. But DJT went from about 35 to 44.5 pretty quickly there, and then all the way back down to 36, and then bounced up around 37.5. That's why I do ask some of you guys to update me on Robinhood. Yeah, exactly, Duco. So I mean, it's going to go from east to west. Obviously, California is going to be blue. Arizona is going to be kind of a toss-up, I think. Looks like Pennsylvania is leaning more blue. So very interesting, guys. If anyone has anything they want to mention, please do. This is what this stream's about. We can be here as long or as short as you guys want. But yeah, so tomorrow, like I said, if Trump wins, I'm definitely going to be focusing on DJT, definitely going to be focusing on Tesla. Those are probably my main watches. I mean, PLTRB on the side. I watch SMCI as well. They had some rough earnings today. What else? What else? Oil, I think, will be interesting. Yeah, SMCI puts, I think they just can't seem to catch a bid. So they're down. We're at way, way, way down here. So, you can see like this consolidation area here from about, I don't know, call it 35 to 22, call it even 20. So right at the bottom of that. Is this a place people could buy? Definitely, but I think under this $22 to $20 area, this could start slipping up more. I mean, the next real support is going to be about $10. So who knows if it ends up falling more. I'm not going to throw this at the very top of my watch simply because I think there's going to be other better trades there. Like I said, DJT and Tesla. I do think a crypto trade for a stock would be Coinbase. Obviously, Mara and Riot would be interesting. MAXN, I don't know what that is. Solar Tech, way down here. I don't know how solar will play out. I mean, renewable energy, I think would be a short if Trump wins, or it's going to be a long if Kamala wins. So maybe like FSLR, these solar companies, they may do well if Kamala wins and vice versa if not. What else here? Don't really have a whole lot. I mean, tomorrow for DJT, guys, my main levels are going to be 40, 45, honestly 50, and then 55. Above 55, I think that's where this thing could squeeze. 55 is a massive resistance level. So if we do get like the go-ahead Trump won, I think that will probably skyrocket DJT. I don't know if it's going to open 45. I don't know if it's going to open 65, 75, 105. I don't know. But my guess would be it's going to gap up pretty significantly if he does win. Anyone in here bet on Polymarket or Kalishi or Robinhood on any of this stuff? I thought about doing it when the polls came back down to pretty even. I have no interest at all in trying to buy in here simply because now the spread is way too wide. You're basically if you put in $70, you can only win 30 roughly at this second. So I have no interest in getting in now. I made my bet on DJT, just very small, willing to lose it all or willing to double my money. So who knows, guys? But Kalishi just updated. Trump is at 67, Kamala 33. Polymarket is at 71, 72. Kamala's at 28.7. Yeah, Polymarket's been above this whole time. It's always had Trump at a higher percentage, which to me is very interesting. I'm surprised that they're not super close. So I mean, right now they're within like 2%, but earlier on they were not. We saw Kalishi come down from 65%. Trump is up all the way to 51.49, and then you see. And then you see Polymarket was at like 60-40. So, yeah, that's true, Crypto Joe. Yeah, the spread's better, right? And honestly, what you could do is just kind of hedge your bet almost, You can kind of hedge. But I didn't throw any money into those. The election map just updated 137 to 99. Trump is winning. Anyone have predictions on if they think it's going to be done by tonight, or that more so we even know by tomorrow morning? From what I've heard, and I don't remember this specifically, but wasn't the last election we didn't know until like November 7th? Crypto Joe says no way. Anyone else? I hope it's over tonight too, Nikki. YouTube, Twitter, y'all can chime in on this as well. Anyone have predictions? I would bet they drag it out too. Trump tweeted that there was some sort of election fraud going on in Philadelphia, and like the law enforcement was showing up at these voting booths. Let me look that up. PBS News says federal and state officials say no evidence to back up claims. Donald Trump claims of cheating in Philadelphia. Trump makes a supported claim about massive cheating in Philadelphia. Law enforcement's coming. So his tweet was a lot of talk about massive cheating in Philadelphia. Law enforcement is coming. Yeah, Trump got Georgia, but Philadelphia, to me, from what I've heard, is like Philadelphia is the make or break. For the most part, obviously, it's not. Wow, Trump is still pulling ahead, guys. 177 to 99. From what I see. Anyone else have updates on that? TV says 178, 113, 194, 95. Crypto Joe's got the spread. TV says 178, 113. Interesting. I know it's kind of weird. I mean, it should be spot on. What Crypto Joe, what side are you using? Sitting in the house closer. Okay, sorry. Stand with crypto. I know you already sent that. You trust this site? This is something you would. Yes, okay. I've never seen this before. That's why I asked. Yeah, most data still coming in. I agree. I'm liking the spread right now. 30 to 154. Okay. Pretty crazy, guys. I mean, again, this is like basically my like second real election that I've ever paid attention to. So, would everyone listening agree this is the craziest one they've ever witnessed, or is everyone always going to have the hype? Very crazy. This is probably the one. Okay. That's good to know. I mean, I think it's pretty crazy. My family thinks it's pretty crazy, but I wanted to see some other opinions. Apple, give me my yeah. If you guys want to hop back on the stocks as well, I mean, that's really what I'm here for. But yeah, honestly, Crypto Joe, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Last one was supposed to be one last thing. I texted my parents 177 to 99 right now from what I see. My dad's like, this is deja vu. Last time he went to bed, he was up big, and then in the middle of the night when they stopped counting, everything changes. I won't relax until it's official. I forgot about that. I was younger, so I think I had like school the next day or whatever. So I remember that now. Okay, let me get into Apple, and then I see a question here. Grip of grain, me too, and then I'll get into the forex and these other questions here. So Apple. I don't know exactly how Crypto Joe. You may have some tips on this, but I don't know exactly how I would predict big tech as a whole to move. I do know that I think that big tech is more so sided with the Democrats. However, I do think that Trump will benefit big corporations as well with what I believe is like what tax breaks and stuff like that. So, again, I really don't know. I think the market as a whole will go up with Trump in the short term, at least. Don't ever fall for those, TK. But I don't know. I mean, some of you guys with some more broader market knowledge, I want to know what y'all think as well. I mean, so from a technical standpoint, whoever asked about Apple, I do like where it's sitting right now. I think this 220 to 225 level is a really nice kind of like demand zone. We've seen it come down in here, go back to all-time highs, down in here, back to all-time highs. So, yeah, so Apple did fall because of that. They also had, the earnings there. But the way it's been holding this 220 level, I really do like. I think that shows that buyers are, still present. They're not really letting it drop. If they hold 220 long enough and they get it back above 225, I can easily see this retesting 230. And then, like, again, just briefly technical wise here, you kind of have like a little bit of like a downtrend looking deal here. So, back above 225, 230 is going to be your next spot. Above 230, you're going to have a little bit more resistance, a little bit more of this choppy area to deal with, and also this downtrend. So you may need a good catalyst. You may need some stuff there to pop this through that 235, 233, 235 level, and then it's kind of off to the races. I think that 250 psychologically is going to be a level that, it's going to be Apple's kind of next big target on the way up. So I don't know, just stuff to keep in mind. Whoever asked about Apple, Grip of Grain, I hope that made sense. If you have other questions on that, please continue. Any tips on Forex? I have no tips on Forex. I don't like Forex. I think that if you're wanting, a lot of people nowadays, especially younger people, are liking Forex because of ICT. Necro Montclair. Can you agree with that? Are you asked about Forex? Have you heard about ICT? Is that a big reason why you're interested in it? Before I continue. The only So a lot of people think it's easier. And why do they think that? Well, it's a little bit slower, maybe. But if you're going to trade Forex, you're going to either need to be a master at technical analysis, like a master. And even then, it's kind of iffy. Next, you have to be keeping up with world news, right? If you're trading US stocks, you mostly just have to keep up with, news regarding the United States. If you're trading Forex, you have like, the Asian session, I think London session, whatever the sessions are. I don't really know. I know there's like London, Asian, or Asia, or whatever. Necro Montclair is taxes are cheaper. Okay, that's interesting. The only person online, and I hate even shouting him out because he's kind of one of those typical guys flaunting his cars, but he is very transparent. I think his name is FX Alex G. It's definitely not easier. I would not say it's easier. A lot of new traders, and believe me, I tried it for like a week, very, very, very early on in my career. What's the biggest reason why people do that? Well, it's because they have the 24-hour trading. The market never sleeps. And you think, well, I can only trade the US market for a certain amount of hours. Well, if I have a 24-hour market, then that means I can trade more and make more money. That's just not the case. Okay. So please keep that in mind. Usually busy during. Well, then maybe you could consider swing trading, right? Then you don't really have to pay super super close attention to and you will I don't know, just be careful. Again, I don't want to tell you it's terrible or it's really good because I don't know a whole lot about it. But I do know from my experience with people who try to get in it is one, they see these ICT traders online, smart money concept guys. That's like the strategy that people sell. It's the courses that they sell. Um, and it's BS. Okay. I've asked guys who have traded the markets for 40 years. They have traded in high level banks. They've been a part of some of the biggest hedge funds in the world. That's not how markets work. Okay. It's just not how it works. You could see all the YouTube videos in the world and they're going to show you winning setups. Okay. But no one's going to show you losing setups. ICT, smart money concepts, to me is not a real thing. I see it everywhere. I hate it. It's ridiculous. It's not real. Please stay away from it. Did you hear about the NYSC? Yeah, so I did. I mean, that's not for sure right now, right? I know that that's in the talks. I don't think it's going to happen. Yeah, no, I mean, grip of grain. I mean, that's my take on it. I think a lot of other people will agree with that are actually worth listening to. So back to the 22-hour, I don't know that it's going to happen. I don't really know the advantages to that. However, maybe there are. Right, I know stocks and like, what real advantage does that have, right? That's gonna stretch out, volume, right? So, maybe there's, you're gonna get news at midnight on, like tonight, for example, DJT could still be trading. You could see, Trump wins, DJT goes way up at 2 in the morning when typically the market wouldn't be open until 4 a.m. Or 5 a.m. Eastern or whatever. So to me, I don't really know the advantages of it. Right. There's not an open and close. And that's honestly where I make my most of my money. So I don't know. I don't want it to happen. I don't from the guys I asked, they don't think it's gonna happen, but just because why does it need to be open 24 hours? It's a US stock market. If it was like a foreign currency exchange or crypto, that is something that is traded around the world all the time, it makes sense. Um, since the US market is not, to me, it doesn't make any sense. So you're not in favor of it, Duke, is what you're saying. You don't want that? Right. Well, then, yeah. So, Nikki, that's actually an interesting point. I didn't even think about that. Banks, I mean, banks couldn't be open 24 hours a day. Yeah. Yeah. I agree, Duco. I do too. Right. Yeah. So that's kind of the downfall of Forex. You have to pay attention to so much stuff, all at once. Oh, wow. Kalishi just popped. Donald Trump's at 75 on Polymarket, 73 on Kalishi. He's at 178 now, so he just went up 1 point on this Google Live election stuff. But we're getting into the East Coast, guys. So we got California, which I correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't that 54 electoral college votes? Sorry, West Coast. Isn't California 54? I believe it is. Let's look at Pennsylvania here. 24% done. It's getting tighter though. Yeah, I mean that's insane. It's just insane. But I don't know. Yeah, I'm glad Farouk's got in here. It's 54. Okay, so I was right. Crazy stuff. So obviously there's going to be a big blue swing here coming into the West Coast, but things can always change. So Momo. So PLTR, I don't really have much of a stance depending on blue or red. I don't know that that is going to be really affected by either one. DJT, however, to me, that's a very obvious answer. If Trump wins, this goes to the moon. If Trump loses, this will go to probably under $10 tomorrow. So pretty simple answer there on DJT. PLTR, though, to me, it's not super tied to either side. So I don't know that it's going to be affected too much, like I said. Polls are closing in a lot of swing states, okay? Sorry, I think I missed this. No, I didn't. I made 104% with 5 times on DJT calls. Trading started a couple of months ago. Trump wins. Is it reasonable to buy calls after the market opens? So, did you already sell that position that you made 100% on? So, are you totally out of all DJT positions? That's gonna be my first question to you. What top price do you think DJT could hit if red? Honestly, I don't know. It's gonna depend on how hard this can short squeeze. I do think 50 is very, very reasonable tomorrow. I could even see this going to 75 if Trump wins. And to me, that's in like one day. Over a week or so, maybe. I mean, obviously, there's going to be some pullbacks and profit taking and stuff like that. But maybe we see 100. I don't know. I mean, what's all time high on this? It's pretty up there, right? I mean, not like 500 or anything, but 80 is the all time high. I could see that easily happening here. I really could. So, I mean, look at the swing it had today. 40 to 30, pretty much. So that's a 25% move down. And then from, call it 30 back to 45, yeah, it's a 30% move. So consider this going 100%, right? 100% from 40 would be 80, which would be all time high. This could go 200% in a day if it really wanted. I really, it's hard for me to tell because I just don't know how big the impact will be. What I'm very sure of, I think, I hate to say very sure, but I think it's going to be a pretty obvious trade to the downside if he loses. I mean, I think that this stock, it's not going to go to zero, but it's going to take a massive, massive hit tomorrow. And when things move to the downside, they move much quicker. And they're pretty big percentages. So, okay, so back to this on YouTube. I sold before the market closure. Okay, good. So, I mean, you already made your 100%. I would be careful, okay, for sure. However, do I think it's like a completely dumb idea to try to play the upside tomorrow on DJT if Trump wins? No. I think that that's a logical trade. However, call options to me are tough because of the, you have IV, you have time decay, you have those other things. So I would stick to equities if you can buy equities. That's to me the safest thing to do. And I actually may trade it with equities tomorrow just because it's not a multi-$100 stock at the moment. So to me, that's what I'm looking for. Wow, PBD has an old gangster on his podcast, like an old time mobster. I think I missed some stuff here on Discord. So haven't heard a good explanation of how stock trading works after it closes. Is it dumb or risky? What's the benefit? So stock trading, like when the market closes, volumes kind of dies out. So there's not many big moves unless there's some sort of catalyst, meaning there's some sort of news event. So like today, you can see Trump stock didn't do a whole lot. And then there was that catalyst, shot it from 35 to 45 and back down. So, there are some, so back to YouTube. Yeah, stick with equity for sure. There are some benefits for trading pre-market and after hours. Basically, you're like the early bird gets the worm, right? I've seen stuff like when GameStop shot up a bunch, and then they announced a share offering that night, that means that pre-market, this thing was going to just dump. Well, the guys who show up an hour before the market opened, they missed a 25% drop in the stock, but the guys that got up at 3 a.m. and traded it made a bunch of money. So there's a lot less opportunities, but there's also some very good opportunities, just not as often. Okay. But you also cannot trade options during pre-market and after hours. You can only trade equities. You bought your house with futures. That's awesome. What else you guys got for me? What platform is this? This is TD, used to be. This is Thinkorswim through Charles Schwab. Any updates on numbers, guys? I'm still at 178.99 on this one. On Crypto Joe's stand with crypto.org, I got 210 to 105. Anyone watching TV got anything different? 195, 117. Okay, it's getting closer. I got Poly Markets at 80.20. And Kalishi is, or Kalshi, sorry, it's not Kalishi. I keep saying that. Is at 73.27. Yeah, agreed. Yeah, I agree with that. We're talking about here, basically, we're talking about the Electoral College votes. You voted a few hours ago. Where? It's pretty crazy. I got mine done a couple of days. There you go. Florida. Wow. Florida's locked in. Voted at 6. Nice. A lot of Florida people in here. Yeah, the mail-in votes are coming. In California, though, just a tip. I hate even asking, but just a tip, if you would want to share what side you're on, I would like to know from a Californian. HON, I'll take a look. If you don't want to share, I get it. Okay, so 1 second. Just to clarify, if pre-market will surge 15 to 25+%, it will still be reasonable to purchase right after market open also. So like typically my rule of thumb is like when things gap up a ton, typically when things gap up a ton, there's going to be some sort of profit taking off the open. And so typically like when something's up 25, 30%, whatever, I will wait to see an opening dip. And when I get that dip, that is the dip I'm buying. I'm not going to buy it if it opens up and goes straight up. I have to wait for a pullback first. Yeah, it makes sense. Just a tip. Yeah. No, that's the majority of the people. Well, I wouldn't say the majority, but I do know a lot of people like that. Okay, so HON. Don't know much about it, Grippa. Um, no, Dedalion, I'm glad you're asking. These are really good questions. You need to get in our Discord, dude. Do you need the link? I can send the link in here on YouTube, but or just look up. Um, that was your plan, yeah. So we have a 4-day premium trial going on right now that I can get you a link to for sure. Let me see. Where would that be? Well, if you go to just PV Stock Alerts, the website, you'll find the WOP page, WHOP, and that's where you'll get it. So, okay, so back to HON. So, grip of grain, what is HON? Why are you looking at it? Well, honestly, I mean, Crypto Joe, I would sometimes, I mean, there's a lot of people that just will vote, at least from my experience, people that will vote blue simply because they don't like Trump. I think I hear that more. Has done well for decades. Is this a candy company by chance? I don't know it off the top of my head. Probably should, but I don't. Semiconductor, interesting. Well, I would say that in the last 3 years, it hasn't done a whole lot. It's kind of been in a range from like 170 to 220. Um, However, since it's a semiconductor, I don't know. I mean, to me, it's at a pretty solid support here around 200, 205. I would be looking for calls more so, I think. For me personally, it's just not necessarily a not necessarily if you're leaving Crypto Joe later. Um, it's not necessarily a stock that I would like to trade. Again, personally, just day to day. Just because to me, there's not a lot of volatility here. It seems to be kind of a slower moving stock, not a lot of volume. So that's just my personal opinion. But technical wise, I'd pay attention to 200 to 205 ish. Oh, okay, yeah. And see if this thing can bounce back up. Some of these stocks that kind of move like a barcode. You can just kind of buy the supports and sell the resistances and not even look for breakouts. It's more of a channel trading thing. My opinion is I wouldn't touch it personally, but like I said, 200 to 205, it's like a to me, it's like a long. I think it makes sense. Um, I think long makes more sense than short to me for sure. Watch how it reacts 200, 205, 210. I think could easily get back to 220. Opinion on what I should change with my stock entry criteria. Prices between 2 and 20, 4 times or higher relative volume, 10% gain or greater, news catalyst, float less than 20 million. Um, to me, it looks like you want to trade things like, kind of like runners, like kind of gap up, smaller stock runners. To me, that makes sense. The only thing I would change is your float. Again, I'm not much of a low float guy, but I don't know if Crypto Joe has any sort of opinion on that. I really haven't traded low float stuff before, so I don't know if 20 million's good or too small. But I don't know. I love some of the things you're saying. You have price criteria, you have high volume, which to me is like number one. 10% gain or greater, I think that's good. And then news catalyst to me is like the second most important thing. So I really do love that. So typically, whenever I tell people like my criteria, it's going to be high volume, Is there a news catalyst? Is it news, or is it kind of like a chart setup that you like that makes it a good catalyst? Um, and then other than that, all you need to do is entry, exit, stop loss, right? Entry, take profit levels. No, I know what low float means. I'm talking about 20 million. Is 20 million too small, or is it right on? It sounds small to me thinking about it. Yeah, so anything low float, obviously there's definitely some risk there. Parents bought HON at $2.33. Well, yeah, I mean they're up 1,000%. It's at 210, so they should be up pretty nicely there. Yeah, I'm sure he's talking stocks, but I don't know if you had any input there on float, but yeah, pretty crazy stuff going on right now. I love it. Got about 15 minutes left here, guys, at most. So get those questions in, ask away, and we can finish strong here. I don't see any updates on anything here at the moment. Right now, still 178.99 on mine. Yeah, it definitely can cause gap ups for sure. BRZE, let's look. Smaller stock, looks like it IPO'd back in here in 2021. Relatively strong year in 2023. So far in 2024, it's kind of been tough. The first thing to me that comes to mind is going to be this right here. You're in a demand zone. You see it come back in this area. You've seen it bounce from $30 to $25 all the way up to $50 to $60. So I would say that this is a good buying opportunity. Roland, I hope that agrees with your plan there. ROIT, do you mean Riot or ROIT? Probably Riot. Yeah, I mean, look, it's a crypto stock. I think that Riot is gonna move with crypto. What's up, Latvian? I think that all crypto is gonna move. To me, if I'm gonna trade a stock related to crypto, it's gonna be coin. Simply because to me that's easiest to day trade. However, Riot and Mara, I think, are good investments. It looks like Crypto Joe agrees. I think they will be good investments longer term, slower moving, longer term trades. Ross Cameron, I know who that is. Well, so look, I mean, again, that's going to come down to writing down and compiling data on your trades. If you win 75% of the time on 20 million or less float, and you lose 75% of the time on 20 million plus, then why would you trade anything over 20 million plus? So keep all that data every trade you take, and then after time, look at it and say, there's no reason for me to be doing this because it's not working. Maybe it can work in the future, but right now it's not. So I'm going to stick to what I'm good at. And then if you're trading, the way that's working, and then you can notice it starting to not work, okay, then all you got to do is look at your data. Why is it not working? Are we in a different market environment? Is the floats changing? Is the stock market flat? Is nothing going on? Do I need to step away? Do I need to be more aggressive? Do I need to play more defense? So, stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, it's hard. And the reason it's hard is because you have to make mistakes to find that, right? That's the only way that I'm good at my specific way of trading. It's because I traded multiple different ways in the beginning. And then at the end, after a lot of money lost and time spent, not doing good at certain things, I figured out, okay, this makes sense to my mind. Everyone has different minds, right? Different brains. They're going to think differently, different personalities. So different trading style is going to work better for you. So after time, after money lost, after mistakes, mistakes are going to continue to be mistakes until you correct them. Okay. Or until you start weeding things out. So at the beginning of trading, you don't know anything, right? The market's crazy wild. You don't know really where your place is. Over time, you're like, okay, I'm not good at that. That goes out the window. I'm not good at that. That goes out the window. And then you keep doing that, keep doing that, keep doing that. You just kind of narrow your view down on the market. And then you get really, really good at a few specific things and you stick to them. Then you're golden. Then you understand what you're doing and you just sprinkle risk management on there and you're golden. It's a very simple way to put it, but it's very true. Why should a homie trade tiny floats? I don't know. To me, I'm not good at that, so I don't do that. There are guys that make money doing that, but from my experience trading on billion-dollar trading floors is the most money made is on the bigger stocks. Yeah, you can make these crazy 100,000% gains here and there on these tiny low floats. Sure. Could you make a ton of money doing that? Yeah. But from my experience, the big money guys that I know, they trade the big stocks. They trade the Metas, the Apples, the Googles, the industrial stocks. They trade cybersecurity stocks, healthcare stocks, right? The big ones: UNH, Lilly, Johnson Johnson, Pfizer, Moderna, ExxonMobil, Oxy, Valero. They trade banks: Goldman Sachs, JPM, Bank of America, UBS, Visa, MasterCard. Stuff like that. So that's what I would say. Yeah, I mean, I would love an argument for low floats. It's just, to me, it's not what I'm good at. So I don't spend a lot of energy on it. Thanks for your help. Will you be live trading tomorrow? So no, Wednesday is my only day that I don't have any streams. Monday, live trading for premium in the morning. Tuesday is my free day. Wednesday, I'm off. Thursday will be free live trading in the morning, premium lesson at night. Friday morning is also a premium live trading only. Got me fired up over here. Any changes in Electoral College? I'm seeing Polymarket still at 79.5. Call sheet 75.25, and I'm still seeing 178 and 99 here on my Google one. Let me go look at Crypto Joe, still 210.105. Thank you, Grip of Grain. Grip of Grain, I hate that you're free, dude. What are you doing? I think it's time for you to level up. 210.105, okay. Getting into the West Coast. Last quarter, it looks like. We're in the fourth quarter here. Trump's got to pick up a few of these, or Kamala's going to wipe the floor with these West Coast names. What do you guys think? Anyone have predictions on Arizona? Oh, sorry. Thank you, Crypto Joe. You predict shenanigans. Yeah. What kind of subscription do you offer? So I'm gonna kind of give you a rundown. So right now we have a 4-day premium trial. Obviously, you can only do that one time, so you can just you might as well, since you guys are free, check out what premium's like for 4 days. So next, there's coaching corners. So you can pay. I think it's $40 or $50 a month. You can be like, for me, for example, my premium lessons on Thursdays are specifically with my coaching groups, where I have a slideshow. I give you guys, I'm thinking about doing homework, stuff like that. To really, it's very exclusive. I have my own chat with you guys, where I spend most of my time in. I would say 90%. Above coaching, you have, you have a premium. So there's multiple plans for premium. You can do month to month, and that's $140 a month to month, or the kind of the promo we're doing right now, and I don't know how much longer it's going to last. If you get in, then you're in. If not, then you're not. But basically, it's you buy 2 months and you get one. So pretty much you spend, so every month is typically $140. If you do the 2-for-1, you spend $280 and you get 1 month free. So if you do that 4 times a year, you get 4 months for free, which is what I think $560 off for the year. Or if you want to buy the yearly plan, that's $1,000. So you're gonna, you obviously get a much bigger discount there. So you know what, that'd be $100 a month for 10 months, which is still cheaper. And then there's obviously lifetime. So you can do a lifetime plan. My boy Duco over here got it. Bitcoin 73. Wow. I know. How crazy is that, Latvian? I'm sure we will be doing a Black Friday sale. Lifetime, I think, is 5,500. And like when we do in-person trips and stuff like that, you're obviously going to get a lot more. You're going to get access to one-on-ones with coaches. You're going to get discounts on a lot of other things. You probably got in on a deal, Latvian. I'm not sure. I'm not super familiar with Lifetime, but it may be 38. But I think that, anyways, I know the in-person trips and stuff that we do, you get discounts, and believe me, you get a lot of other perks. And if anyone's interested in Lifetime, just DM me, and then I will set you up with someone who will give you a list of all the things that you will get. But come to me first. Dang, Crypto Joe, nice. I bought some at 17 last cycle. You're interested? Cool. All right, just a tip. I'm gonna DM you just so I have a reminder, and we can talk about this again. All right, cool. Yeah, so like I said, with Lifetime, I mean, it is kind of a price to pay, but obviously you are in for life. Never have to pay another dime. And then for other exclusive events and stuff like that, it's you get big discounts, and you get one-on-ones with all the coaches. Yeah, there's a monthly plan for it as well. So there's a lot that comes with it. It is worth it. It's just, I know it's kind of a pretty penny for some people, so they'd rather stick with month to month or the 3-month thing or buy the yearly. But this chat's going nowhere, guys. So it may be worth it if you're willing to pay and have the money to do it. I mean, there's you can, a lot of the people talking here are Lifetime. 73 just broke. Let me pull it up here. Got about 5 minutes left, guys. Any other questions you have for me? Look at this. Look at this breakout. Crypto Joe, you think we see 100,000 by early 25? Yeah, see, Duco's a great example. Slow and steady, Necro Montclair. Slow and steady. That's what we're here for. I've had people start with, $50, $100, and they're making that easily daily now. And then in a year, and after a year, I've seen them go to $300, $500 days. It's just a grind, but it's just consistency. That's all you need is consistency. So you think 100K by 2025, early 25. That's what I like to hear. One more, crypto SUI. Is that a US stock? Is it this ticker right here? See, I mean, Necro, there is your example right there. Grippa Grain over here. And he's still free. You kill me, Grippa. What are you doing, man? Call sheet 81.19 right now. Trump, I got 188 to 99 on mine. Yeah, Tuesday and Thursday mornings are my free ones, and then Tuesday nights are my free lessons. So I hope to see you here every Tuesday. Put the work in, you'll get there. 210 108. I love it. Great. Well, guys, any other questions you got for me before I wrap things up? Good night, Necro. Yeah, thanks, Joe, for being here, man. It's always a pleasure to have you in here. Always a pleasure. Come anytime, please. Yeah, to go. We'll see. All right, everyone. Y'all have a good night. Again, no live trading tomorrow, but I'll be around. Please DM me. Please tag me if you need me. I'll send out a little watch list in the morning if I see anything interesting. I hate that I'm not live trading tomorrow, but I think tomorrow can be interesting. The rest of the week will be interesting. The rest of the month and the rest of the year, I think, are going to be just amazing. I'm really excited. So let's kill it. Y'all have a good night, and I will see you mañana. Later. Let's go watch this election. Bye-bye.